With DEDENNE GX as the reward on the ladder for the next month, it is a fantastic time to get started on Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. If you're a brand new player and you don't want to spend any money, this video will show you how you can pick up 2 DEDENNE GXs for free on PTCGO. Welcome back, everyone, to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch, and I'm wearing a different shirt because I realised that I forgot to record an intro yesterday. So, here's the intro. We're just gonna jump into PTCGO and get those DEDENNEs now, alright? So I've just started up a fresh account on PTCGO. It's brand new. I've got nothing at the moment. What you want to do, the very first thing you want to do is jump into the Trainer Challenge. Click on that one and it'll take you there. I'm just going to speed through it and explain how it works because it's super boring to watch, but it's definitely worth your while. Once you've finished off the tutorial, you'll be placed in the Trainer Challenge at the Gold tier. There are 3 tiers: Gold, Platinum, and City Championship. You'll also be given 3 decks to play with: a Fire, a Lightning, and a Water deck that can be all upgraded as you play against computer opponents. The Gold tier, where you start off, is a relatively easy place to get to grips with the game, and you can see over here I am playing with the Born of Fire deck. As soon as you win games with these decks, you get cards added in, so Born of Fire gets some special energy, Rapidash, Arcanine, that kind of stuff that can round out your collection, but frankly, that's not the reason that we're here. We really want the coins that you get for winning games in this challenge, so try and win as many as you can with all of the decks. Once you've reached 500 coins, we can head across to the store and pick up what we really want, which is a theme deck, so that we can start playing against real people on the theme deck ladder. Now, I have been grinding for quite a while, not too long, maybe a couple of hours, maybe 2.5 at most, and we've managed to get ourselves to 500 coins, which, as I mentioned, is the key number. I've played each of the 3 decks that I've been given for free. I've played them all on the Gold tier of the Trainer Challenge, which is obviously the best place to get started, and I've also played a few games just with the Born of Fire deck on the Platinum tier, so I could get to 500 coins. Once you get to 500 coins, you're in a good spot because you can jump over to the store and actually start purchasing product. Now, if you'd like to, you can buy 2.5 packs of any set you want, crack those 2 packs and hope for the best, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. What I would do is I would jump straight into the decks section of this particular store and have a scroll through and look at all of the different 60 card decks that you can pick up for 500 coins. The best part about this is that you can get a good deck which you can play on the theme deck ladder, you can play for theme deck tournaments, but you can also jump back into the Trainer Challenge and finish off that Gold tier and get a whole bunch of packs out of that as well. My recommendations, if you are a brand new player and you've never played before, there are 2 things you can do. Firstly, you can pick up the first deck on the list, the Vivid Voltage Charizard theme deck. This theme deck is really quite good if you are intending on playing Pokemon in a kind of competitive sense or in a standard sense for the next couple of years. The good thing about this deck, at the moment I don't obviously have too many of the cards, but it is full of cards that are standard legal, like Leon and Research. This one here, Professor's Research, as well as cards like Ordinary Rod and Great Ball, as well as Evo Winsense and Switch, a really good option. I would highly recommend that one. But if you are maybe a little bit less inclined to play all the time and you just want to have some fun, the other Charizard theme deck on the ladder is probably the best theme deck that you can pick up. It is the Team Up Charizard deck list, featuring the Roaring Resolve Charizard, which is incredibly strong. Unfortunately, lots of the cards that are in this deck are not standard legal, so you won't be able to use them in a standard deck, but it is definitely a really good option. Me personally, I want to play a deck on the standard ladder, so I'm going to pick up 1 copy of this Charizard theme deck, and we'll see how it goes. Now, when you jump into the Versus tab, which appears in the top left corner of PTCGO, you'll initially be taken to this particular page, we've got the 3 decks that we've been given, the Mental Might theme deck, which you also get given for free, and the Charizard theme deck that I have just picked up. Automatically, it's been set to theme. Eventually, I'll be able to play on a standard deck, but at the moment, I don't have any standard decks built, and it's going to pull me away from it, so I don't really want to do that. At the moment, I just want to stick with the theme deck tournaments. Theme deck ladder, sorry. The theme deck ladder, if I've clicked on the Charizard theme deck and click play, it'll take me into games against my opponent, and if I win enough games, or if I take enough prizes, then I will eventually earn my way up towards these Dedennes. So 210 for the Dedenne on the first tier, and 690 on the second tier. The first one's going to be relatively easy to get. The second one will take a little bit longer. I'll jump through and do that very quickly for you. So I have started playing some games over on the theme deck ladder, and whilst you're having a look at those, I figured it would be a good opportunity to describe exactly how the deck is supposed to work. There's a couple of really good cards in this deck, specifically the Charizard, obviously very powerful. Battle Sense, a great ability that allows you to look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose one and discard the others. It seems like it might actually be pretty average, but in reality, theme deck tournaments like this, it's really good because it lets you get rid of bad cards that you don't want to see. Plus, it also works quite well with Leon, which is another part of this deck's kind of combo. Leon can be discarded with that battle sensibility in order to boost the attack of Royal Blaze. Royal Blaze for 2 fire energy deals 100 damage plus 50 for every Leon in the discard pile, and with Leons being in the discard pile so easy to do with Battle Sense, it means that you can get to 150, even 200 damage relatively easily, and not many Pokemon on the theme deck ladder can deal with that kind of power. Another good card in the deck that we really need to make sure that we remember is Pseudo. Double draw for 1 energy means that you draw 2 cards, which in the early game can be really powerful. These kind of theme decks don't necessarily have a lot of consistency built into them. They're not easy to find specific cards, so Pseudo lets you draw 2 extra cards every turn so that you can get into your Charizards as quickly as possible. Flail, a decent attack for 1. Sometimes people will just hit into you and you can deal a bit of damage with that as well, but mainly double draw is the key. The last card that I really want to talk to you about is Yanmega. It's a really good card. Ends up covering the weakness of Charizard. Most water Pokemon are weak to grass after all. U-turn for 2 energy is a great early game attack whilst you're trying to find your Charizards. Cutting Wind can deal 130 damage as well, but the most important thing about it is that it has free retreat, which allows you to really make use of your supporter card Bead, which is in your deck, which allows you to attach an extra energy on your turn if it's in your hand. So in combination, Yanmega and Bead are really powerful, and they can get you into your Charizards really quickly. Last but certainly not least, Professor's Research as a card is one of, if not the best card in this deck. Lots of people playing on the theme deck ladder won't use it because they think that discarding their hand is a bad thing. But let me tell you this, as long as you have a Charizard in your deck, you should be looking for it as quickly as possible. Play Professor's Research, you will not be disappointed. Alrighty, so I'm coming upon my last game on the ladder to get my first Dedenne, and I figured I'd show you how quickly it can be done. Now, obviously, you may not experience the same thing that I have done, but I've found that since this deck is so consistent and it's so strong, that you can actually get the ladder portion of the gameplay done very quickly. I'll have to take another couple of prizes here, obviously, but I'm almost guaranteed to win this game. I've got my 2 Charizards both set up. I've got Yanmega on the bench for free retreat if I need it. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable. My opponent has no real way of dealing with my Charizards at this point. They can start attaching energy to whoever they like, but realistically, it's not going to go well for them. So it's going to be a simple matter of 2 attacks here, and I'll win the game. So I'll just try and whip through that nice and quickly. But yeah, like I said, it is quite a good, consistent deck. You can get up the first part of the ladder really quickly with this thing. I am 1 prize away from finishing the ladder, and it took me 9 games. It's as simple as that. I just played 9 games, I won them all, which was fantastic, but it's all that it took was 9 games for me to get to the end of the ladder and I'll click my attack here and go on to win this last one. And even in the mirror, right? Even in the mirror, it's really, really strong. So we've taken all of our prizes, we got all of our stuff, we get our 9th win on the ladder, and that will be it for our first Dedenne. And it's as simple as that. Just win 9 games in a row. I mean, it's super, super simple. So I've now finished grinding with my Charizard theme deck to the 2nd tier of the ladder. I've managed to get myself my 2nd Dedenne GX for free, which is fantastic. It took me a little bit of time. Obviously, I'm wearing a different shirt now. It's the next day. I had to have a sleep because it was getting late. But I have got quite a few rewards for my grind, the Dedennes obviously being the big ones. I'm on 1100 coins, and I'll show you how you can best spend those very, very shortly. You can pick up packs if you want. Probably not the best thing to pick up at the early stages of the game, but you can get new theme decks as well, which is probably the way to go. And I've got 9 tournament tickets as well that I can use to play in tournaments to get tradable packs. I'll show you how to do that in the next free-to-play video that I put out, whenever that ends up being. I do plan on doing another one because I have had quite a bit of fun with this. But I'll quickly jump across to the deck manager just to show you how many games it takes to get to the point that I got. If you look down below me, there's a wins since last edit, wins since last plays since last edit, whatever it is. For theme decks, that data is the same all the time because you can't edit the deck. I've played 35 games with the Charizard theme deck and actually won 29 of them. So that's as quick as it can be. You can very, very quickly get up to the ladder to get those 2 Dedenne GXs. Obviously, I've won way more than I've lost, only losing 6 games, which is genuinely impressive now that I'm looking at it. I can't believe that actually happened, but that's beside the point. I've pulled a whole bunch of really cool cards out of random packs as well. I'll take you across to the collection. I just opened all of those off stream or off camera because there's no reason really to show random packs being opened, but you do manage to get a couple of packs as you're playing along. You can see I've managed to get a Lapras V, which is cool. I've got a Talonflame V as well, just from random like daily reward packs, and playing through the ladder you eventually get a couple. I've got quite a few old sets as well. Things like Kofagrigus coming from Plasma Freeze, because those packs are, of course, on the ladder. And now, my job is going to be to go through the Trainer Challenge, because since I've got my extra Charizard theme deck, I can actually go back through and get a pack from every single one of the Gold Tier Trainer Challenge games, and then I can start working through Platinum and City Championship as well. I'm going to do all of that off camera. The next time I do one of these videos, I will show you how to expand your collection to get to the point where you can start playing in the expanded or the standard ladder. Because playing theme decks is fun, but it's not necessarily the way that most people want to play the game. Like I've said though, this Charizard theme deck is probably... I can't go into the full screen edit one for the theme decks, but this deck is probably the best choice for you if you are starting out. Like all the reasons that I've mentioned already whilst you were watching some B-roll in the background. It is very, very strong. I would 100% recommend picking up. That is the best way to get started in the early game on PTCGO. Hopefully you've enjoyed the look into the early game of PTCGO and how you can get 2 free Dedennes on the ladder with a completely blank account. If you have enjoyed, please consider subscribing or head down below and become a channel member if you are happy to contribute a small amount financially. Thank you very much to all of my members over here who have done so for me. Dadbot, Azazel, and Taco, as usual, you guys are absolute heroes. Fernando, Yolo, Stephen, Agent Abel, Austin, Josiah, Andy, Exonics, Robsy, and Caster PD. Appreciate your contributions, as well as all of the Mega Sableyes over here as well in white. Appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully you enjoy your free-to-play journey on Pokemon TCG Online. I'm Mitch, and I'll see you next time for more from the Sableyes.